Well, good morning, everybody. I didn't do a video yesterday because it's sanding, and that's what I've been doing for the last day, sanding. But what I would like to address is I got a message, phone call, pictures of an airplane, and was asking about how much clear is it to use. Well, most know that I only use one quart of clear dope. Well, the problem is I do a lot of sanding. When when you're using your dope, the surface has to look like plastic before you paint the color on it. It has to be the grain, all the grain has to be filled, and it looks like plastic before you spray the paint on it. Then you spray the paint on it, then you cover it with the clear coat and sand, and it looks like plastic. If you got weave showing or grain showing or whatever, you haven't sanded enough and you don't have enough dope on it. So the only way that you can use less dope is more sanding. This airplane's coming out super sweet. I mean, the finish on this is better than the last two that I did because I'm getting back into my mode. I've been out of circulation for 6 years. Hey, Tony. I've been out of circulation for 6 years, so I lost some of my skill. This is a thing that you just have to practice at to build really well. This one here is going to be super sweet. I mean, super sweet. So the project for the morning, I'm going to be in and out. We got some things I got to do today. This will be the sixth striping of the ribs. So we're going to stripe ribs again. I know it's boring or whatever, but it has to be done. The paper is all filled on this. It's really smooth. No, I've never thought. I'm not doing scale again. I did one scale airplane in my life. First at Brodax and Sports Scale, third at the Nats. One scale airplane at 10 flights. It's a waste of time. And flying round in a circle is not my idea of having fun. I'm going to donate that shoestring to the museum. Anyway, well, let's talk about the scale airplane. I built that scale airplane. It took about 3 months to build. I didn't fly it. I took it to Brodax, and I put one flight on it before the contest. And I stood around when I don't think I brought a stunt plane. I didn't because I was going to do scale. So they said, Jack Sheik says, well, aren't you going to practice your pattern? I said, Jack, practice my pattern. Take off, land, and high flight, touch and go. Come on, man. So that airplane only has about 10 flights on it. And it would be a valid airplane for scale right now. Take it down off the wall and fly it. Charge the battery and fly it. Documentation is impeccable. It looks exactly like that one right there. This is the static sheet for the nets. Here's the 3 views of it. Here's the colors. There's a picture of it. I talked to the guy who had the airplane. I called him up and let's see. There's another picture of it. Very seldom seen picture. And airplane looks exactly like that. And here is the FAA registry to that airplane. But the last time it was licensed was 2012, but it expired in 18. So I don't know if it's still going on. It lives in Texas. It's painted different. No, it doesn't live in Texas now. It's in Las Vegas. That's right. It's painted with Circus colors. But there's that. I mean, it's just not very fun. And I thought the people in stunt were biased. The people in scale are really biased. Okay, so back to this. So we're gonna do our striping again. I'm using a striping brush, but you don't have to. You can use a regular brush. We're gonna put the final coat on the ribs, top and bottom. Now, because I oil my brushes, you got to clean them out first. It's always a good idea to oil the brushes. That way that they're super, super, pliable and they're not stuck open. And we get the paint and the thinner out of it. So there it is right there. I'm going to have to go to Walmart and get me some more mason jars. And throw them other. And trust me, it's cheaper to buy a new mason jar. Cheaper to buy new mason jars than it is to clean them out. If they get, I mean, if you don't have much paint in them, a little thinner to wipe them out is okay. But if you got to waste a lot of thinner to get them clean, just buy new ones. So we're back to striping again. I'll do these ribs. And this is the last coat on these before we're going to start spraying here. Now, I didn't come on yesterday because, like I say, it was all sanding, and all I did was sand, so I can't bring myself to doing a video of me sanding. Of course, today is a day that I'm going to be in and out because we have some things that I need to do that Steve can't come over. I mean, he asked if he could come over, but I told him no because we got some stuff to do. And how you know when you got enough dope on these ribs? It starts to really shine. On this coat, it's really shiny. So it'll get one more brush coat of clear over the whole thing, and then we'll spray it white. We'll be spraying white probably tomorrow, or whatever color I think of. Might get to be orange, because orange is the color that covers the best. This airplane, I don't know, it's probably about 5 ounces overweight, but there ain't nothing I can do when you don't have good wood. However, I did get some premium wood from Australia the other day, and I got another load of wood from California coming, all 4 pounds. So we'll be gearing up to build another airplane here. I need something that's more challenging, though. It's something that's really difficult. So what I think I might do, we might try an all molded Viper. And what I mean by that, no, already had a purple airplane. Don't like it. The Atlas was purple and yellow. I wish you guys were here so you could see how good. I mean, that line is about 3/16 wide, and it goes straight down the rib just like it's supposed to. What I'm doing there is when you come to the end on the leading edge, I don't want to have that stuff out. This leading edge is smooth as glass. I mean, it's just like plastic. So it gets another, I don't know, we might not do another coat of clear on this thing. Maybe just on the fuselage, because the wings are sealed. But I wanted to cover the base of what an airplane needs to look like. I don't have any cream. I mean, I could make it. What an airplane is supposed to look like before you paint it. It has to look. It has to look like plastic. Ooh, I got out of there. I got a swirl there. There we go. Straighten her up. Had a kink there. So I got a couple of hours. I got a couple hours to waste here, about 2.5. If you want to hang around while I tinker on this, well, I guess we can do that. Wish I could play music though, or listen to something. Two more. Pretty shitty weather out today. Okay, that's one. I got 3 left to do. As you can see, I got the super fill in it. Sanded up pretty well. I mean, we won't know until I get color on it, and then I'll have to doctor it up to see how bad it is. You don't do this on a beam wing, you'll be sorry. You'll be sanding through them ribs. Six coats. I don't know what we're doing on Viper profile plans. I haven't heard back from Steve. He was supposed to send me a PDF of what he had. I need to mail off the drawings though. You know, a guy could, he's pretty talented. He could probably do a set without my original drawing. I had to have him do up my MC72 plans because that was 100% scale stunt ship. The profile of the airplane was 100% scale, the fuselage, but the wing was different so that it would adapt to stunt. Was it a world beater? No, not really, but it, you know, we like that kind of airplane. Something you could fly in fun scale and take points for doing the maneuvers. I think we need to zoom out a little bit. There's Fred. I was talking about you today. That coverall, I didn't talk about that, but that coverall is way too heavy in material. I don't know why you use that, but got to get that weave filled. And now you're at a point where you got to use clear on top. For a light finish, you have to really do a lot of sanding. And believe it or not, what I'm doing here adds to a light finish too, because we're not putting paint between the ribs that I got to sand off. Because I still got to sand all these tops of these ribs, this dope that I'm doing. But it ain't gonna take much paint to paint this airplane, because it's really filled good. Well, next time you do it, take a couple teaspoons of baby powder and throw it into the clear dope at the beginning. It's too late now. You got to use clear. I mean, it's good tough stuff, but there's really not any need for it. This is double-aught soak span. I mean, lightest I can get. Light as you can get. Thought I had my stop sign hat on. I have to wait for this to dry, and then we'll turn it over and do the other side. Then I'll be done striping ribs. If you're looking for some heavy type covering material that's durable, I would use Polyspan. Polyspan. Okay, now I have to wait for that to dry so I can flip it over and do the bottom. I don't use carbon tissue anymore because well, first off, the carbon veil can only be used on solid surfaces. You can't cover a wing with carbon veil. Carbon veil offers zero strength. Zero. I mean, it hardens the wood up, but there's no strength to it. It takes a lot of dope to fill. You know, a lot of things have been tried, but the old method of doing this is still the best, in my opinion. Soak span and dope. You know, they've tried waterborne paints and carbon fiber and this, that, and the other. The easiest to me is, the easiest is soak span and dope, and it's the best. It's this by far stronger than carbon veil. But Jap tissue is even stronger than this, but I can't do it. I don't know how to get it on there. We're almost dry. We can flip it over here in a second and do the bottom. Then we'll thin that paint out some more and slop another coat over the whole airplane. And then one more sand out and it'll be ready for color. And oh man. If it feels like crap, it'll look like crap. You know, there's probably 100 guys that'll tell you that I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, this is the latest, greatest car paint and carbon this, and you do what you want. I'm going to do what I want. Anybody that tells you that coat of car paint only weighs an ounce is lying. Anybody that tells you a gallon of clear dope weighs an ounce is lying. A gallon of clear dope probably weighs 10 ounces. If you sprayed it on, probably more than that. So I'm sanding this with 400 now. I don't want to dent it up. You can tell it's frosting off. You know, when you sand it, that's how you know you got enough dope on it. It's frosting over. It's starting to shine. Darn it. Let me zoom in here. Let's get you a pic. Well, I'll put the camera in my hand. Cream with orange flames. No, I don't think so. Okay, you see how this nose, like right down here, has shiny spots on it? Right here? Well, I'm going to have to, let's see if we can do that. We'll zoom in. I never thought of that. Put the camera on the table. Okay. This is shiny, but it's not real smooth. Hey, Terry. Yeah, I know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, to be honest with you. See, it's mottled still. You want to get that mottling out. Way too much work for a profile. I think probably the most effective method for a profile would be to cover it and paint it with hobby epoxy or some type of epoxy paint, something durable. It's going to be heavier, but a dope finish like this on a profile, is it really worth it? I don't know. I got nothing better to do, so I might as well. Might as well do this. Yeah, see, that's coming out good. Okay, let's turn it over and paint the bottom. A whole lot of sanding going on. Remember, you get zero. I'm getting 0 points for my effort here. Zero. There's no points in profile. But I'm honing my skills for the next airplane I build. Okay, let's stripe some, then we can sand while it's drying. Almost had a disaster yesterday. A friend of mine came over. He walked into my airplane room and tripped over a box and about took out all my airplanes. God, he caught himself just in the nick of time. He had done 2,000 hours worth of damage plus the cost of everything. I was freaking out. So we know not to allow him in my airplane room again. People got to watch where they're going. I bet there's more than 2,000 hours in there. There's more like 5,000 hours. $17 times 4. If he'd have took them all out, what is that? For about 4, 7 is 20. It's 6,800 hours. I don't know how many hours in a year, but that's like working 24 hours a day for a couple of years. That would be like a total bummer. Shit. I wish dope you could stripe with dope, but you just can't. It doesn't act quite right. Let me see if I can do really fine line. Let's see what that looks like. Of course, this is a big brush. I guess theoretically, by the looks of that, I could do a. If I got to use a double aught brush, I could do an 1/8 inch line. No, AMA insurance wouldn't pay for it. AMA insurance is useless. Your homeowner's insurance is first, and whatever they won't cover, then maybe AMA will help. It's a fallacy. AMA insurance is no good. As far as I'm concerned, the AMA is useless. It's a drone operation now. They think that's where the money's at. Kind of like what Fox did, you know. Fox forgot what put them on the map. Control line. And they just let us go away. Of course, I never used Fox. I thought they were junk. Yeah, you take a Fox and you hit it with a hammer and break it up into tip weight. that's a good That's a good use for them. So much better alternatives than Fox. It's probably the lightest motor, and it's probably the most used motor, but I don't know why. I really like Super Tiger products. And back in the day, people were using Johnson stunts. They had the Johnson Combat and a Johnson stunt engine. Boy, this is getting thick. Maybe we get through this. And they were heavy. Then they went to the 35 SOS Max. They were heavy, underpowered, and heavy, I thought. A lot of guys liked them, though. Believe it or not, I had good luck. I had good luck with G21 35 combat motors, choked down, turned into stunt engines, small Venturi and 10.6 propeller on them. But I had a lot of them gas 40s, McCoys. That was a ringed McCoy 40. It's a Series 21 cylinder liner and a lightning bolt case. I've shown them a couple times on here. I got them. I just, much as I'd like to bring back the nostalgia, that I just can't bring myself to build an airplane for those old engines because they're unreliable and we're gonna need this is really thickening up here. Let me put a little more in here. We'd go a lot faster if it was thinner. I'll pour it back in after I'm done. Okay. Two at a time. Two and reload. Yeah, all the rib ends came out good on this. I thought I was going to have a problem with the covering on this, but it stuck down real good. I went back over and rubbed them in and stuck it down. Turned out nice. It's going to be a super nice airplane. Nice looking anyway. I don't know how it's going to fly, but we'll see. Boy, it sounds like it's shitty weather out there today. Okay, last little one here. Okay, we're done striping. That's 6 coats on the ribs. 6 extra coats on the ribs. Fill that back up with thinner. I think I need to make a new jar of top coat clear because it's kind of foggy. This airplane is way heavier than I wanted. It's going to come out 48 ounces. It's like carrying around an extra engine. But you can't build light airplanes with heavy wood, period. And that's how you take care of your brushes. Oil them up. You can use motor oil, but I got brush oil here. And that way, next time you go to use it, it'll have soft bristles. Okay, we're going to do what? I guess we're going to sand. We've been on in 49 minutes. See, that's the whole deal. I wanted to come on and let you know what I was doing yesterday. Sanding. And what I'm going to do today is sanding. However, it's hard for me to do in dead silence in here. So I'll probably end the video in 11 minutes and I'll sand some more and I'll come back. Like I say, I've got some errands to run today. So I'll be in and out. Okay. I wish you guys were here that have never done this before could see how my paper is filled and how smooth it's filled and it's smooth and it almost looks finished except for it needs a color, you know. And that comes from Sando. Mucho Sando. So now the detail sanding begins. You know, I'm going to go over it and make sure everything's filled and sanded smooth. There won't be any bumps or zits or and when I go to paint this, it'll be one coat, just and that's it. And then put the trim on it because all the work is done up front. The 400 grit sandpaper here. And every time I do one of these, I put the first coat of paint on it, go, look at that. Terrible. Then you got to fix all the buggers. That's why I missed my DC 540. I could spray DC 540 on this one coat, sand it all out, and spray it, and be ready to go. But we're out. All I can get is Crest, and that's way too expensive. That DC 540 was $3 a can. They knew I started buying all that shit, and they knew they had a gold mine. They discontinued it. Anything that works, they discontinue. I'm so sick of tree huggers. Save the whales, save those snails, save the bees, save those trees. George, where are you when we need you? Let's see, I think I'm done with Superfill, so I can get this off the bench. We're going to bend up some landing gear today and do some doors, and we'll put it together, everything, get a weight, and see how many coats of paint I can put on it. It ain't going to be much, I can tell you that right now. I think it's going to be, I think this here is pretty damn heavy. Let's figure it out. Let's put the engine in it. We'll get a weight on it. $764. No wonder why it don't work. Too big. too big. Where's the 3/32 one? There it is. There we go. I figured out how I'm going to do some offset wedges. You know, I had some in it, or I had some in my Brodak box, but I used them on that other profile. I have some door shims, plastic door shims. I'm going to cut them 3/8 wide, and they go from about 0 to, I don't know. We'll see if they're enough. I'm going to sand them and just rub it a little bit. We'll sand it. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Like I say, a whole lot of work for a stupid profile. So put the tank on it here. Of course, it gets a bung, and let's put the heavier one on. That'll make up for the bung and stuff. I got wheels. Probably 41 ounces right there. 41 or 42. Not good. There. So we're going to add here. 41.7. 41, so we'll say 42 and a half, because I got to add the wire in there. 42 and a half plus 6 is 48 and a half. I mean, it's a big airplane, but I really wanted it 40 ounces. Ain't happening. We'll just put it together and see how it works. Might have to fly a little faster. It's heavier. Maybe it won't be 6 ounces. We'll 41 and 4, it might be 45. If I don't get too crazy with it. I'm thinking it needs wheel pants and some of the other goofy shit. I don't know. All right, that's the first hour of the day. I'm going to end the stream. I'll be in and out all day today because I got to do some running, and we'll sand, and we're getting close to paint though. So this week we're going to get it in color, and by Wednesday or Thursday I should have another box of wood. And I got some good stuff from Australia, some real nice stuff. I guess they're close to Papua New Guinea. I must have a line on it or something. But we'll see what's coming from California. I got a lot of 8th coming for ribs and stuff, so we can build another Beamer. These are 332nd ribs. They didn't turn out too bad. These are 332s. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you later on this afternoon. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.